Let's party. Let's always a party. Let's go, Paulie. Make some noise out there. Yeah.
Happy New Year.
We never say that. Make some noise out there.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
because there's no one out there.
There's crickets. It will.
Producer Drew, let's make some noise out there.
What's up, baby? How we doing?
What's going on? Paul, it's 2022, second show of the new year. I took initiative this week. I was like, you know what? I want to start going to the gym, start working out.
How's that working out?
So
90% of people
So
this year.
it snowed out, so I didn't go to the gym.
Yep.
So I went downstairs, went on my treadmill, and was like, all right, I'm going to start running, get a workout in. It's January 2nd, trying my new resolution, get rid of the dad bod.
There you go.
So I start running, I get sweaty, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, man, it's hot as fuck in here. Let me take my sweatshirt off. So instead of me stopping the treadmill to take my sweatshirt off, I was like, you know what? I'm Rye Guy, Superman. I can take off the sweatshirt while I'm running. So while I'm running, I take the sweatshirt off. I get stuck because I don't want my AirPods to pop off, so I don't want to rub them off. And then I fell and busted my ass right into the bookshelf. Right
That's how
off
you
my
start the
treadmill.
new year.
Yeah, starting off right. I think it's an omen to me that I should probably not work out.
Okay. I worked out Monday too.
Did you?
First Monday of the year. What's so funny too is it's always like
At the gym though?
yeah. So we have a gym at my apartment complex. Super nice. They got 2 floors. One's like cardio, and the second floor is like a weight room. So you split your levels. Which is so funny is that everyone says January 1st, right? Start my New Year's resolution January 1st. But if January 1st is a weekend, everyone's like, Monday. It's just procrastination.
And what's funny is like the Sunday before the Monday, you're like, oh, okay, I can pig out. My last day pigging out. Let's get some pizza. Let's have some soda. But then it lasts like 2 weeks.
There you go.
But I don't like how the gym rats, they judge the people.
That's
for coming
always the
back.
joke.
That's annoying though.
Yeah, it's the joke of, it's like the normal people in the gym love it all the time, and they're like, January 1st, here we go. Here's a crowd of people for what you said, 2 weeks, and then people are out. They're like,
Well, they
done.
should embrace the new people.
They should. They should help them. But people don't like a crowded gym. That's the problem. They don't like the crowded gym. They like their peace. But hopefully you guys are starting some New Year's resolutions. And as we were talking about last week on the show, for us, this is our first week in January.
Yes.
So is there anything like you really, really want to do that you said, this is my year to do it?
I want to take Life's a Party to another level.
To the moon?
Like to the actual moon. Maybe multiple moons.
Oh, I'm down.
Aren't there multiple moons?
Yeah, different planets have I think Neptune has 2 moons.
Well, can we shout out what we're planning to do this weekend?
Yeah.
Or no, you don't want to do that. My goal, like you said, you want a goal. Like a goal for me is like, let's get this Life's a Party going. I already did stand up, put down the back burner for a little bit. Let's grow the brand.
Back burner. I feel like that hasn't even been lit. Like it's been.
Yeah, well, I'm a comedian now. I got it in my bio. I didn't put it in my bio yet.
Yeah, I checked it. It wasn't in there. You goddamn liar.
Because Paul says I need at least 3 or 4.
You
to put
need
it
to
in.
at least perform a few times. If I go out and sing once at a big venue, I'm not a professional singer.
But that's what I want. I want Life's a Party to grow.
Yes.
Paul. That's what I want for 2022.
But we got a new video in the works. Hopefully, you'll see in the next 2 weeks. That's the plan. Maybe like a week to edit. I want to make this thing really good. Our first launch of a different video other than the normal podcast stuff. So just be on the lookout for that.
All right, so let's get into what we know best, Paul, and that's drinking.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about the mistakes we made on New Year's Eve, but let's get into some drinking conversational topics. So things that involve drinking. So the first one is, Paul, how old were you when you tried alcohol for the first time? Were you with people? Were you by yourself? What happened?
I think this is a conversation that could get us in some trouble.
Oh, is it?
You know what I
hear
mean?
Sirens coming around.
A conversation that. So, do you know the age? Like, if I asked you that question, there's like a specific age or like point?
I was like a late bloomer, I think.
Okay.
Like,
I think we
was
were
a
both.
bitch.
Yeah.
I was scared. We both have strict parents, so I was one of my last friends to do it. I remember, I think my first beverage was like at a family party. Like I picked up a red Solo cup, not knowing it was like alcohol.
Okay.
That was my first taste. But then my friends, they mixed Corona with iced tea the first time. Were you there? I think you were there.
That's a classic. That's a good one.
Mixing Corona and iced tea as your first alcoholic beverage. Didn't taste well.
I feel like a lot of people's first alcoholic beverage is from their parents, and it's like a mixed drink, like something easy, right? Like vodka and iced tea, or like maybe just a twisted tea or a Mike's Hard. A lot of times those wine coolers, I mean, that was one of the first drinks that I had.
A wine cooler?
I can remember. Mike's
Paulie
Hard
wine cooler.
Mike's Hard Lemonade. I mean, I feel like a lot of people's first drink is a wine cooler.
Your first drink is whatever's in your parents' fridge.
That's true, 100%.
Unlucky for Rye Guy, my dad drank Yingling. So when I was 14, 15 going to high school party, I come rolling up with fucking 11, 12 Yinglings. I was probably calling them Yinglings, not
Yep.
even realizing that they're called Yinglings.
That was one for some reason in our friend group.
like-
Yingling was like the first beer, which doesn't make any sense.
Well, it's what you steal. You steal the beer from your dad's fridge.
Yeah, but it should be the cheap stuff that you buy from, a brother who's in college, or you find a parent who is cool and they will buy their kid and their kid's friends
cool.
like alcohol. We're usually, it's Keystone and Busch Light and the stuff that you get a 30 pack for $20. That's what I remember, right? It was like we went to a party and we would get a 30 pack. It'd be $21 and we would split it between the three of us. So it was $7 a pop and we each got 10 beers for the night. That was what I remembered in high school.
Oh, I remember one night on New Year's Eve. It was like the first party we went to. It was right?
Shout her out.
Okay, so, well, I mean, we're fucking 25, 24 now.
A
so.
15-year-old party, yeah.
There's gonna have to be a lot of censoring if we want to air this episode.
And
this
my
week.
phone was charging on the charger, and our buddy texted me, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to split tonight?" And my dad saw the text message. He's like, "Ryan, come here." He's like, "What does this text message mean?"
What are we
It's
splitting?
like said, "We splitting tonight." I said, "Oh, he was talking about a girl." He's like, he wants to know if we want to split
the
a girl tonight. I don't know if that's better than telling him about the alcohol. I swear to God, true story. He was
That
like, "What does this mean,
more
splitting?"
questions than it answers.
I was like, "He's talking about a girl. I was just making a joke."
not gonna lie, that's actually a pretty good excuse.
I know. I had to
don't
think
know.
on my toes.
Yeah, I don't know if I could come up with an excuse that I'm trying to. I think if I had to pick an age, I'd
Oh,
say
all right, y'all fucking the same bitch tonight.
I know that's a statement right there to your dad.
Don't share the Bud Light, but the bitch.
There you go.
Share her.
New Year's Eve, yeah, that's how we're starting the new year. But I think for me, I think it was age. I want to say 15. I want to say I was a sophomore in high school.
Same.
I was a
not-
sophomore in high school.
I
And
went
I think
to freshman parties, but I never drank at them.
no, and I think it was New Year's Eve actually.
Which is weird for you because your sister is a lot older than you. So
Yeah.
15's a little late. But your sister was more on the strict side. Like, she wouldn't buy you alcohol.
My sister wouldn't. That was
My
always the
sister
thing.
was stingy with it, but yeah, she was the same way.
But I think it was also because we came from strict parents. So it was like,
So-
well,
Well, that's the thing. It's like when you go to family parties with strict parents, my sister was like, well, I had to wait to be 21.
so you gotta wait.
So you got to go through the same pain. So that was kind of like, oh, I'm not going to buy you alcohol. Even she did a little bit because I'm relentless. Persistence is key. But she was like, hey, I had to wait till 21, so you got to wait the same fucking thing. I wasn't like that with my brother. I got
no, yeah, there.
because I'm a fun guy. We're life a party here. Life's always a party.
I was the same way where it was like, okay, like if my sister wanted to ask me, but she really never did.
Oh,
I
your
mean,
sister was the one when we would get alcohol, and because she was the first one to turn 21 out of our siblings, and we would ask her, like, "Yo, Paul, ask your sister to get alcohol." Your dad's up here, and she would charge us like $10 fee to
She
get
would be like-
alcohol.
like,
It's
if
like this
the-
is a little expensive.
no,
Paul.
what's so funny is that's true.
It
That's
is true. We don't- we
100%
speak
true.
Facts up here.
Where you have I had a sibling who I would ask to buy alcohol for me, and then if the beer came out to 30, the thing is because we did it all the time, we knew what the price was, and we knew what liquor stores what the price was. So we said, we were splitting a 30 pack, so we knew it was $21 or $22. My sister would be like, "Hey, it's $35."
Yeah, we're like, hold
And
up,
we
this
would be
something's
like-
not right here. Something's
We'd
messed
be like,
up.
There's something wrong here. She's like 35. I was like, no, because we literally did this last week and it was $22. She goes, oh, well, I go to this store. I said, no, you're trying to make money off of us.
I remember that now. That your sister would literally charge us a shit ton.
I
for
forgot
the-
about that. Yeah. That's
Shout out,
wild.
Laura.
So
fuck off.
first time alcohol, 15, and just with some friends. For me, it was New Year's, particularly.
Yeah, same.
Second one we got here is how can you avoid a hangover? What's the best cure for a hangover?
If you have the answer, I need to know. Like,
Yeah,
let
who's
us
got the
know if
juice?
you have the cure. I know a lot of people. My brother, New Year's Day after New Year's Eve, he went out and got a Pedialyte. I've never had that, so I don't know if that's one that works.
I've never had Pedialyte either, but I've heard that is the cure too.
Gatorade. Producer
yeah.
Drew said that Gatorade does help me a lot. after.
I was told only red Gatorade. Apparently, there was something in red Gatorade that causes some reaction that allows.
Oh,
you
there's
to-
sperm in there. That's why it works so well.
I always
Is that what gets you going?
yeah.
Gatorade does help me. Greasy food, a lot of people do.
Well, that's when they're drunk. The greasy food is like
Oh, it's when you're
helps.
drunk.
Yeah, I would say greasy food. For me, it was always Gatorade, electrolytes. They just help you repower your body, and I think
Gatorade.
that same thing with Pedialyte. And other than that, though, just a good night's sleep, man. Just sleep it off. Sleep it
Sleeping's
off, or you could go the reverse route and just keep drinking.
Does that actually work though? Like the keep drinking thing?
I think it does.
I can't do it.
I honestly think it does.
Like I'm not built for the back-to-back nights. Like someone asked me to hang out and watch like I don't forget it was like the fights or a game on New Year's Eve. I'm like, listen, I can't. I was like, I'm not a back-to-back. I'm not built for that. You're built different. I can't do back-to-back nights. So like I'm going on New Year's Eve, so I can't drink tonight.
there you go.
Oh, it's all
Not back-to-back nights.
The third one is, what kind of alcohol do you prefer to drink, Paul?
For me, I think we've talked about it on the show before, but I think the type of alcohol depends on your age, and I think it matures with age. So for us, right, I liked Keystone when I was 16. And everyone
dude
goes,
said
oh,
he loved
Keystone, this.
Keystone.
I was like, no, it's like, I liked it. Like, you know what I mean? Would I ever drink that now? Hell no. I would never touch it. But, and then as I got older, I really liked Bud Light. I think I still like kind of Bud Light, but I really don't even drink beer anymore. When White Claws came out, I love seltzers.
Here's a question. Do you think alcohol is perceived solely by price? Like, why does Keystone and Busch Light and why do those beers get a bad rap? Is it because they're so cheap? Or is it because their flavor is that bad?
I think both. I think they're cheap because they're made cheap, and then they taste like shit.
So it's like a Honda Civic?
Yeah.
That's something interesting to think about. Because Bud Light, I mean, that's what I drink, Bud Light or Miller Light. Miller Light, it doesn't taste good.
No.
You don't really enjoy it.
But it's
the
cheap.
same thing as Busch Light or Keystone. So why are those such trashy beers, but Bud Light's okay? Because it's $5 more?
It's just a little bit more. But the thing is, if you go up higher and you get like craft beers, but with those, when I go out to eat at like a fancier place and I get craft beers or that kind of thing, you could tell the taste difference and like the price difference.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
So I'm saying from like Bud Light to Keystone. Like, what if the
not
flavors
much.
were swapped, say? So Keystone flavors in a Bud Light can.
Or a blindfold like
Right.
taste test.
I feel
Could
like-
you?
Yeah, so you would be like, oh, this one, Keystone blindfolded, this one's more expensive, this one's not. We should do that on a segment. Just get like a bunch of beers and then like put like a hierarchy and see if like, oh, Keystone's my favorite. Well, that's
See actually what we think. Yeah, I agree.
That's
I
interesting.
think that's something for either like testing lab, won't you think?
Yeah, I agree.
A little foreshadowing. I like that. What was the question? Oh, avoid a hangover. Yeah. So I don't know. I know there's a lot of TikToks about how they have like concoctions on what you should drink and eat afterwards, but I haven't found the solution yet.
We were talking.
Easiest thing is just don't drink.
Oh,
you
there
don't
you
have
go.
a hangover.
Well, that's not. We're not doing that.
Yeah, we're drinking. I mean, that's life's a party. That's what we're doing here.
We need a new producer.
We were talking about what alcohol is your favorite to drink. You went back on us.
I went
How much
back.
have you had to drink
Yeah.
tonight?
Oh, I went back to the hangover.
Yeah. Yeah. How much have you had to drink?
I like Bud Light, obviously.
Yeah,
Bud
Bud
Light.
Light's-
So like I stick to the main food groups, Bud Light and tequila. Shot wise, our friend groups do like to take Doctor. I don't know, Dr. McGillen's, is that what the full name is? It's like a toothpaste kind of shot. It's kind of gross to other people, but I like it.
I like the classic green tea shots.
Well, that doesn't do anything for you. That's
Yeah.
my thing. It's like green tea shots are the same price as tequila with just less alcohol. So you're not getting your price per buck. You know,
Where are they the same price as tequila?
I think they
What
are.
type of tequila you drinking?
Well, wouldn't you rather take a straight vodka shot for the same price as a green tea shot that has minimal alcohol in it?
the green tea. Yeah,
You're paying $6 for something that does, it's like a Gatorade shot. It doesn't do
I
anything.
agree. I like Skittle Bombs. They're really good.
Jaeger bombs.
Jaeger
on
Bombs
the
are
wave.
fire. So good.
Are they
and-
both? Do they both have Red Bull, Jaeger bombs, and Skittle bombs?
So we're
Like,
talking
what's
about.
the difference? Do you know the difference? I don't.
No, I have no clue. Maybe one of our listeners.
Maybe if you know the difference between Jaeger bomb and other than one's Jaeger,
Let us know.
Yeah, sorry.
No, but now made me think of Red Bull. That's my favorite go-to drink right now. Vodka Red Bulls.
Well, you're drinking a Red Bull right now.
Red Bull. I haven't had a Red Bull in a little bit actually, but I have. I think maybe 2 years ago. It's really when I started dating my girlfriend because she loved vodka Red Bulls.
Yeah.
And how much I loved Red Bull, just because I always saw them as a dangerous drink. When I saw people
They
drink
are.
them, yeah, I mean, yeah, but
Like
we're
a
living
Four Loko.
we're living life on the edge here.
Clearly.
Because they're just so freaking good. They're phenomenal. They taste so good. Yeah, they're a little expensive, but to me, like at a bar, I'd rather get that than a beer any day.
Yeah, I like that. Like some nights, I prefer just to do mixed drinks only. It's hard to be like consistent. That's one thing you should be when you're at a bar. Is like drink the same thing. I'm not good at that.
No.
But maybe that's something I improve on. That's my 2022 goal. Yeah,
Yeah.
not to quit drinking, but to be consistent on what I drink out.
Okay, next one we have here. Is there social pressure to drink in your culture? How do you feel about the pressure?
Do you want to start this?
In American society, huge pressure to drink constantly.
I feel like there's pressure. Do you think more so in America than like Ireland and other societies? Isn't Ireland big on drinking?
Yeah, I mean, a
They,
lot.
they can drink at the age of 16, for God's sake.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, we've talked about the difference of the age, like you can drink.
Yeah, we've
where,
talked
like,
about like the benefits of starting earlier.
Yeah,
and like
100%.
instead of being a caged up animal, and then we're released at 21, and we haven't drank, and we're ready to go nuts.
where in Ireland, the drinking age might be 16, 17, whatever it is.
I feel
right?
like there is a culture. Like if you think about almost every single work party you go to, it's like it's to a brewery, it's to bring your own whiskey at the work party. It's like I don't know, it's just a way you want to celebrate. Oh, you just got promotion, let's go get fucked up. It's
Well, as an adult, I've realized that people really only get together for a few reasons. One is, I mean, like every reason to get together involves either food or alcohol, right? Because you're not going to go to a party or invite people somewhere without providing food or drinks, and that's just what it is. So, I mean, we talked about it a long time where there was probably a 3-year span of our friends. We couldn't remember one of those times in those 3 years that we hung out and did not drink. It was just like, that's just when we saw each other. It was like, hey, when we see each other, we're going to end up drinking, whether that's, and we made every activity a drinking activity. So golf, bowling, like hanging out, literally like no matter a bonfire, right? Like
sweating,
anything you could do, drinking.
Well, I don't know. I can only speak about my friends and like our friends, but our friends are assholes. So like if we go out to a party or like we go out to a bar and we're like, oh, we're not drinking tonight. Like we're taking the night off. We're like driving or whatever. They'll be like, oh, you're a pussy. It's like, well, come on, dude. I'm just taking one night off. He's like, no, you're a bitch. Like you should drink. Just have a drink. Get your mom to pick you up. Like it's just like there's always that peer pressure on like, oh, Ryan's not down to have fun tonight.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're not drinking tonight. Well, you used to be fun. Like, why aren't you doing that anymore?
That's 100% right. Because
like-
it's people when they drink, they want others to drink with them, right? Because they don't want to be the odd man out. They don't want to be like, oh, I'm the disappointment, right?
Then I wake up the next morning. I'm like, God damn it! I knew I shouldn't have fell for that pressure. This is what they get me into.
So 100%, I think in especially our friends.
I don't know if that's just because our friends are assholes, where everyone goes through that, where it's like, oh, you don't want to have fun tonight. Like, oh, you used to be fun. You know, partying. Like, it's just we get that a lot. Like when I say no, it's almost like a fucking instant bombard on that.
And what made it worse was starting this show. So by starting Life's a Party, every time in college, or no, so right after college when we started the show, every time I would go out and not drink, people would be like, yo, bro, I thought Life's a Party.
Yeah,
Life's a
fun.
party, bro. Why are you not drinking? And it was like a curse at
We
that
were talking
point.
about some guests or something. He's like, man, you guys haven't drank on the show in a while. He's like, if I'm going to be a guest, we're going to get fucked up. I'm like, all right, dude, we have 70 episodes. I'm not an alcoholic. But yeah,
So
that's
yes,
all I have.
peer pressure from the public.
I'd have to say yes. There's a lot of cultural peer pressure in the United States. Next one, 2 left. Does alcohol help people get to know each other, Paul? And if so, how?
100%. I think it's like, one, it's confidence juice. So it makes people feel better about themselves, that they can like talk about themselves or ask people questions. And at the same time, it just like loosens you up. And it makes you feel more comfortable around people maybe you haven't talked to or don't know that well. So then you get to know people a little bit better.
Do you think it makes them open up and talk a little too much?
Oh, 100%.
Like if someone they get drunk and they're on like a date or something, they can just babble and just rant, and you're not actually making a connection with that girl or that businessman or whatever. And then like people tend to not, when they babble, when they drink, they don't listen and like listen in and actually making a connection. So I think you can argue that drinking doesn't really help you get to know people, because you just sit there and babble about your life and you're not really listening or making a connection with someone.
No, I feel that 100%.
Look at that.
A lot with conversations, which is so funny is, and I think where people have to get away from is that in a conversation, a lot of times people are more concerned about what they're going to say next than listening to the person that's actually speaking to them. And I think alcohol just amplifies that.
It definitely elevates that
So-
for sure. Yeah, it's too, like, I don't know. It's tough. It's like a two-way street.
Yeah.
Because it does get you to, oh, there's that hot girl. Let me take a
Boom.
shot. I
Go
can go
talk to
talk to her. But then once you get there, then that problem can arise where you're babbling, not listening and shit. So it's a lot of pros and cons there.
100%.
Last one.
Last one we got here is, where and when do you like to drink? So what's your favorite places to drink and times of the day, I guess?
I'm not a club guy. I like to dance. I do like to dance, but the drinks there, it's almost like a frat party. It's hard to get a drink when you're out at a club, and then you're paying like extra prices. I like to drink with my friends, like at a bar, like local bar, because I get a lot of discounts at the local
That's
bar.
true. You know the bartenders. That's a good thing.
My tab was $33 for me, my girlfriend, and her sister on New Year's Eve, and I think I ordered $33 worth for my first round.
Yeah.
So that's like the benefit. I like to celebrate with my friends. Like when our friends get like they buy a house. Our friend just recently bought a house, so I like to go out. Let's go out. Like we'll drink with the friends and then go out at a bar or not. But I know you're more like the club scene kind of guy. Like that's just Paul.
I just like the good vibes, right? Anywhere we go, good vibes. In college, I was a big person with like partying at the fraternity house, but that was also I always talked about where that time is so limited, right? So like I was in a fraternity. And everyone's like, oh, once I turned 21, I kept going to the fraternity house. And people were saying, hey, bro, like you can go to bars now. Like, why are you still going to the house? And I would be like, I'm going because the time is so limited. Like, I will be able to go to bars for the rest of my life. That fraternity house was 2-3 years max that I was actually there on the Fridays and Saturday nights partying with everyone in the basement, which is like really fun to me.
But like your view on fraternity house is different than like mine or another person.
Oh, 100%.
Like you're in a fraternity. So when you're at a frat party, you're only there for like with your fraternity and then maybe like it's a mix or whatever you guys called it. And you get like a sorority, like one sorority or two sororities that come. Like every time I went to a frat house, it was like a fucking open house.
So
and everyone's jammed and something. But I bet you'd have way better experience at a frat party because there's limited people there.
Correct. Yeah.
But when I go, it's like I'm fucking squirming. It's like this is not fun. Like I hate this place.
The idea of an open house at a fraternity, especially if you're not a brother or don't know any of the brothers, like if you're a random dude that paid 20 or 30 bucks to get in, which I've seen constantly, or if you need a ratio to get, it's like I was
Or
one
both.
dude.
It was both.
Yeah, I'm one dude. I need 8 girls to get in, and they're charging me $35.
Yeah, I'm done paying to go into this bullshit house. I'm like, and I just stayed in my dorm, which is why I didn't have a great college experience. But I could see where your like frat parties are better.
But I like that. I mean, there's so many different places. We keep talking. I love drinking on the golf course.
Golf is great.
Yeah, golf's great.
The problem after you don't have the energy to go after party after golf.
No, but I mean, you're drinking on the golf course in the hot sun for 4.5 hours.
It's like 4 p.m. You're like, I'm fucking checked out. I'm done. I'm tapped out. Like I can't do nothing now.
But no, what's great about those, especially in the summer, if you have a friend who has a pool, a perfect golf day is like waking up, getting breakfast, like golfing, drinking, and then go to drink at the pool, like at your friends. Like take that group, and then you're drinking from 10 a.m. to 2. Take a nap or just go get lunch, just chill for a second, and then go drink by the pool. Like those are the best summer days to me.
You love bowling alley. We've been down this road.
Always talk about the bowling alley. It's I was at a bowling alley not too long ago, and I just felt home. You know what I mean? I felt home. I said, "All right, let's get plastered."
All right, so let's think of what are top 3 places to drink.
Are you a beach? Do you like to drink on the beach?
I don't like to get smacked up on the beach. Like I'll go and consider that my pregame.
Okay.
I just don't want to spend all day there, if that makes sense.
I know.
Like I'd go down to the beach 10, have 5 beers, and go back, and then figure out the plans. I don't want to just have fucking 12, 14 White Claws at the beach all day.
The worst is, bro, like we have friends that will go to the beach for 4 hours and have like 15 beers. And it's crazy to see that happen because recently I have a really good experience with it where it was like 7 of us and we were all casually drinking and you have one person who is just getting obliterated and everyone's sitting there just watching and being like, oh, is he getting another one? He's getting another one. Okay, cool. Is this man gonna make it out tonight? Like what is going to happen? And I think beach is pretty chill.
Well, if it's hot, and then what if your beer gets warm quick if you don't have a Yeti?
But you're also just getting way more drunk quicker because you're in the freaking hot sun.
I like drinking at the beach. I just minimal.
So top 3 places you said, right?
Yeah.
We'll
cross strip club off. That's not a really
no. I don't
place.
think no.
You go there after the drinking.
So for me, golf is definitely
golf's
on that list.
in on the list.
Yes, I don't know where it places, but golfing is on that list.
Yeah, we'll put golf 3rd.
Okay, I think.
Well, a club and a bar, like those are what's.
I think like a casual like bar.
Can we make like a one experience where it's like go to
Club bar.
Atlantic City pregame, then go to the club?
Is a pregame a location? Like is
like
a pregame
hotel room?
No, but I'm saying like a pregame, right? Like a house pregame or like just a pregame in general. Is that
so? The idea of pregame and then going to a club, is that 1 or 2? Anywhere.
A club would be 1. I think a pregame would be 1.
I would like a club. The problem is that we don't have like the hierarchy in like the social world where we can get like a VIP lounge.
No, we don't.
I feel like if we had that
Those clubs
every
would be
night,
bumping.
club number one. Like we go there, hey, Ryan and Paul, life's a party. Come over here. We got this reserved for you. Bottle service, life's a party. Girls with bottles, firecrackers and shit. Like fuck yeah, club's number one on the list. Then
If you have the money,
Right.
then yeah, that would probably be number one. Would be the club.
and then two would be I don't know a local bar, like a country bar. I've never been to Tennessee.
Oh.
I feel like that could be two.
I
Bar hopping.
Not gonna lie, I think I enjoy a local bar with live music more than I do like a very packed club.
Really,
Yeah,
I'm probably the same. way.
strong statement there.
All right, so we'll go number one, club experience with a VIP lounge bottle
100%,
service.
number one.
And then number two is your local bar with a live,
Live band.
Three
Three is golf.
Golf. That's the top three right
There,
there.
I like that. I think that's a pretty solid list.
Pretty good list.
Cool.
Uh,
Moving on.
Yeah.
We started the show drinking. Hopefully, you're drinking with us. We always love when people tell us they drink with us.
Yes.
Life's a party, baby. This is what we do.
Take a picture. You can put it on your Instagram.
Oh,
Add us.
fire.
That's all I had.
Oh, okay, there we go. Next segment. This is a really cool segment. So we're doing some sports here on the show. USA Today, 11 things we would change about sports.
Yeah, these are very interesting. They're going to bring up some good conversations, so I'm excited.
So it's just some things that people have suggested that we change about modern day sports, and we'll talk about and like give our opinions on it.
Yeah.
First one. The first one we got here is ban tackle football for children under 14. So this is talking about CTE and like brain damage with like helmet to helmet stuff,
Well,
right?
yeah, and like kids, 14 is being generous. Like kids start tackle football at like 16 where they can't even stand up on their helmets, like knocking them over.
That's
And
wild.
I remember I started when I was 10, and my mom hated it.
I forget you played football.
Yeah, I was
I,
pretty
like-
good actually. I was
Totally
actually pretty
forget
decent
that.
at football. But I stopped my freshman year of high school. But I was 10 years old when I started, and my mom like was so against it. She was mad. She wouldn't even talk to my dad for a couple weeks or talk to me. And like she wouldn't even like to come to my games. Like she did not support it at all. Like she would be there and you just see like she's mad that I'm
She's
playing
so
football. at 10.
mad, yeah.
But it is something that's serious because like the dude they found in the hotel room recently, Vincent Jackson, died. They found him lying in his hotel room. They found out it was CTE. Then you see the game you were at this weekend. The Bucks were playing the Jets. Paul's at the Jets game, working the Jets game. Antonio Brown takes his shirt off, his pads off. He's got no shirt on the end zone during the game, just leaves the game. And people are bringing up like, is this a CTE thing? Because this guy is nuts with other things he's done in the past.
That game, so yeah, you don't know what happened. So basically a player on the the player on the Buccaneers basically like stormed out towards the end of the game.
Antonio Brown.
Yeah, Antonio Brown, and just stormed off. Like it was just a crazy scene. Definitely go check it
He
out.
took his pads off. He started throwing his shirt in the crowd. He's like pumping up the crowd in the end zone while the game's going on, giving high fives to fans and shit. It's like, and then he's also had a video where like he was like getting massaged by a doctor and he was
Yeah.
farting.
I seen that. Yeah.
I've done some bodybuilders, and this is pretty freaking low. I gotta stay away. Damn, bad. Damn. No, shit.
Like he was just ripping ass and just laughing while the doctor's massaging.
So people
him.
are going back and forth and saying, okay, is there something wrong? Right.
Because he's had a long career and there's times where he's been hit. I remember there was a game in Pittsburgh. It was a division game or something. The dude on the Ravens or the Bengals, I think it was. I forget his name. Something with a B or something. But he literally head-to-head contact. AB was out cold. So people bring up this thing is like, should little kids be exposed to that brain damage of this contact sport at that early age, or you might end up like AB? I mean, we don't know if he has CTE, but it's like there's a lot of signs that point there's something wrong with his brain.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like that idea. I'm not like totally.
Wait, of
No, no,
getting
no,
hit
no,
in
no,
the
no, 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 no.
Well, you like the idea?
I
of-
like the idea of the suggestion of banning tackle football for children under the age of 14.
What's the thing where your brain fully develops?
Your brain doesn't technically. It stops fully developing at the age of 25. So
Okay.
25 completely stops. But
Well,
I think
the
that-
NFL would suck if we didn't play football.
Yeah, so 25.
Like, what's this? How do I throw it?
But yeah, I mean, is there really any?
Well, Aaron Hernandez, he was CTE, I think.
Yeah, would you see a downfall? Like, is there any real a bad thing about this? Like, if you would change that age?
Well, you could be worried about like people understanding the game or not, but it's like you look at other players who don't even pick up football till later on, or Joel Embiid didn't even play basketball until he was like a freshman in college.
Yeah.
It's like, so I don't know. It's something that, because there's this Netflix series I used to watch. It's called Friday Night Tykes, and these kids are like 8 or 7 years old, and they take football so serious, and they're getting knocked down, and they're doing Oklahoma drills. So it is something to think about. It's like those kids should not be getting hit because they practice every day. They're taking hits every single day. It's just, I don't know. CTE's Will Smith did that movie on CTE.
Yeah, they did.
Or concussion. That's what
Concussion,
it was called.
yeah.
So it's something definitely to monitor in recent times to see how this will unfold. But that's a suggestion someone had. All right, next one is implement a shot clock in golf ball. This one kind of made me laugh when I heard it.
This is a chuckle one because golf is what I don't think people understand is how difficult golf is.
Right.
Like it is so difficult because you are I think Barstool did a thing where they talked about they asked all their employees, they said, what's the hardest sport to play, right? Or like what's the hardest sport to be good at, I guess. And a lot of people were saying it's either golf or baseball. Because baseball, the idea of hitting a small ball that's coming at you 95 miles an hour within 90 feet, right? Like to hit a baseball is tough for a professional. But the difference between golfers, like the difference between an amateur golfer and a pro golfer is like astronomical. Like the good golfers will demolish anyone who comes their way. And it's just like, but and how hard golf is in general.
Well, we all have those asshole friends who take forever to hit the ball.
Oh, yeah.
I have the one friend who takes forever, like 20 minutes to hit the ball, and then they finally hit it, and it's a dribbler.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're going to take that long, at least make a good shot or something.
Or the guy who takes 15 practice swings.
Yeah.
And then he finally gets up, and it's like, dude.
But it's such a mental game that, like, sometimes you don't even realize you're taking that long. You're just trying to concentrate. Well, obviously, I don't even think a shot clock is even doable. Like, it's not even practical.
No, it's not.
You can't do a shot clock in a PGA event.
They are, I mean, I think they tried to speed it up though. Like they I don't know how they do it. If it's like per hole, because in the PGA you have officials that follow players, and they follow groups. And I know I think it was in the Masters. It was a kid who was the amateur winner, and he was playing in like the the Saturday like matchups. And
yeah, because when you win the amateur, you're invited to.
Yeah, you're like invited up to play and keep playing or whatever. And one of the officials came over and gave him a 2-stroke penalty because he was being too slow. And it's like, okay, cool. Like, that's a good thing, right?
Yeah, but that almost seems like they're picking and choosing because I know Bryson DeChambeau is like the slowest guy on the... And they would never go up to him in the Masters and be like, yo,
2 strokes.
Like, they're just making an example out of that fucking kid. Like, I know sometimes, like, recently it's getting worse. Like, I know Bryson's big on it. I don't know. I think Brooks kind of is slow. I know Tiger doesn't play the fastest, but I mean, no one's going to question Tiger.
Yeah, no.
But when you think about it, it's like when you're little, you watch your grandparents, they're watching golf. And you're like, why the fuck are you watching this? This is boring
Golf
shit.
is very slow. Why would you watch this?
Like, this is boring. Like, let's watch something else. But then as you grow up, I sit there and I watch the tournament.
I watch golf. Yeah.
So like when you grow up, it's like, oh, I understand why they used to like to watch this. But you just gotta like it. You gotta be like in that niche. Something you gotta love in order to watch it.
But I couldn't imagine adding all the stress of playing golf and actually hitting a good shot. The knowledge of having a clock tick, I think would make it impossible to play.
There'd be many more like shanks and shit.
Yeah, because you're like, 2 seconds left. Like imagine the shot clock or the game clock of a football a football game when it's like 1 second. Like imagine watching a TV.
Throw a flag.
Yeah, you're about to swing backwards, and an official just like blows a whistle at you. That would throw you off so bad.
One last thing on golf is I always think it's funny when like Tiger's playing. Where like it's the last hole on a Sunday and he hits the ball and it's like he hits it out of bounds, but the whole crowd goes and sprints to the ball, and then they have all the crowd like literally a golf club length away from the ball, and then they have the crowd on the right that's literally 2 inches away. And I'm just thinking, like, if those guys were there when I was hitting, their lives are in jeopardy.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
But like you said, like the amateurs, the difference from like an amateur or like an average person to the pros in golf is astronomical.
Crazy.
Next one
we have here: eliminate all-star games and expand skill competitions. I like this because not gonna lie, a lot of professional sports leagues, those all-star games are pointless.
Yeah, players don't want to get hurt.
Nope.
Like the NBA don't play defense. The NFL, no one tackles anybody.
No.
The NHL, I guess they just let everybody score and there's no fights or anything. But the skills competition, I agree, they're the most fun. Like the home run derby's great.
The 3-point contest.
3-point contest. Even though the dunk competition that's fallen off recently, because the big names don't do it anymore. Like LeBron doesn't do the dunk, but Michael Jordan used to do it, and Magic Johnson and Vince Carter, they all would do the dunk contest. So maybe if you just take away the All-Star game, and players like, I don't want to go to All-Star weekend because I don't want to get hurt. Be like, hey, just come do the home run derby, and maybe you'll get more participants. But I agree, they're way more fun to watch the skills challenge. But what would you do for football? I know they do a skills challenge for football, but It's like throw at the target and shit.
I feel like either way, it would be entertaining to watch. Like the 3-point contest is entertaining, right? The
three-point contest is almost surpassing the dunk contest.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, because of those big names not participating in the dunk contest. Because what sucks is whoever wins the dunk contest, it's like, would you really win though?
Right.
Really, if there were like actual contenders in this match, would you really win?
Right.
So it's kind of weird. Home run derby's fun to watch, especially the new rules to the home run derby.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine them just like filling up a stadium for a home run derby. But do they do that
I think
already?
they do that. Yeah. I was like, they do.
They
that.
definitely do something else though too. Is there like the softball game and then like they take an hour break and then
I think that's what I'm trying to think. There's got to be another. I think they do the celebrity softball game before the home run derby, but then they air it on TV after. I think. But yeah, so I like the activities better than the stupid ass
and the only
games.
what I think is crazy too is the only All-Star game that really matters is the MLB. Because whoever wins that game gets home field advantage for the World Series.
I think they did away with that, to be honest.
Really? Why? Because I think that's the best thing about that All-Star game.
I could be wrong. I don't know. I'll be stupid if I'm wrong. But I think that was the only game that actually had purpose. And I like that it was that element. But I don't even know if they do that anymore. But that's interesting. Don't they have like mascot All-Stars or some shit? Like they get invited to an All-Star game?
I mean, I know all the mascots do get invited to the All-Star game. For hockey, they have like a mites versus mascots like
that's
match.
The best.
So they have like little kids
With
that
CTE.
they got little kids playing hockey versus like the mascots, and it's just an all-out brawl. Like the mascots don't care, obviously.
That's so funny.
And they're just trying to be funny. They'll deck like the kids and that kind of thing.
I forget what I was gonna say. But the All-Star game kind of does get done because, like, the NFL, there's, like, Pro Bowlers. There's a difference between a Pro Bowler and an All-Star. A Pro Bowler is, like, voted by, like, the coaches and GMs on, like, who the best players are. But, like, some Pro Bowlers don't make the All-Star game. Like, Bryce Harper didn't make the All-Star game this year. Dude ended up winning MVP.
That's wild.
He was, like, the first person. I think he was the first MVP ever to not make the All-Star game and win MVP. Which is, I don't even know
Why?
how it's possible.
Because they're voted by player? Or who are they voted by?
They're by fans, but the All-Star game for the MLB is pretty reasonable. Like, they get the guys who should be in.
Okay.
So he wasn't, like, snubbed, but he didn't make the All-Star game and
That's
ended up
wild.
winning MVP. But next one is, Paul, expanding the NBA court. Now, this might not be an elaborate conversation. Recently, though, because they moved the three-point line back, there's a lot of out-of-bounds in the corners.
Yeah.
Because they got big-ass feet. NBA players wear, like, size 16, Shaq-like size feet. And then when they're in the corner, they don't realize they only have, like, this much room because they moved the three-point line back. And then they're stepping out of bounds all the time. But I don't know if, I mean, you talk about this on the show sometimes. It's like, no matter how rules are bended or how game rules change or how you move the field, like, people are going to adjust. It's like the NBA three-point line. Like, oh, people are going to get good at shooting that far anyway. They're just going to keep moving it back. And, like, what's the point?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about Steph. Steph has changed the game of basketball, right, with the three-point shot. And I've talked about it where I think there will be a four-point shot. Why not? If you want to make that game like fun, I think in 10, 15 years max, 15 years, you're going to see a 4-point shot. And I like the idea of expanding the court because I don't like how the 3-point line
It's so close to half court, too.
Yeah. But I don't like how it gets cut off.
And the corners are tight.
It's like, no, you should make that thing a full arc.
Oh, I see what
And
you're
just
saying.
expand, like, expand the width of the court a little bit. Maybe not the length, but just expand the width so that arc could be a full arc, even if you keep expanding it.
The problem is that the big guys have trouble playing 20 minutes a game because
they gotta
If
keep
you make the
running.
court bigger, they're going to be struggling to play minutes. But I always think about like changing the rules of a game or changing the diameters of a baseball field. But golf changed the rules on like how Jack Nicklaus used to play the Masters or shit like that. Because Bryson DeChambeau would take so aggressive routes and directions, they like ban certain like in air areas and they declare it as out of bounds. So if Bryson were to take a shortcut over the water, now that's out of bounds because they think that's unfair.
I mean, that's with current athletes right now that are just like they're
exposed to better
Yeah.
training and better workout equipment, and I guess they're eating their fucking Wheaties. I don't know. Like athletes are changing than what they used to be.
So they're changing the game, right? Because as you said, Bryson, they're now creating golf courses to counteract him.
Right.
Like they're developing and And
Like they're putting bunkers in different
and like
spots
architects
now.
are creating different types of golf courses. They're literally changing the way they thought to build golf courses
Crazy.
because of one dude who said, "Hey, I'll just cut the freaking corner because I am so strong and will be able to get that ball across." So
Well, they've changed that already with majors, I'm pretty sure, just because of Bryson.
that's why
Like they
but
change holes and we're gonna go this way instead because Bryson's cheating the system.
how do you feel about that though? Like you get so good at something,
Right.
and then the system says, "No, you can't. You're too good."
That's almost like America. You start succeeding, no, okay, we got to figure out how you can't succeed anymore.
You're too good at it. That was who do we talk about? Oh, it's one of the ice skaters. It was like one of the
A
ice
hockey
skaters.
player?
No, ice skaters in the Olympics.
Oh, like
She-
Apollo Ono?
Oh no, it was a girl. Whatever her name, I forget what
Oh,
her name was.
the scandal one?
I think so. It was like she was or no. Simone Biles.
Oh, gymnastics. Yeah.
Yeah, with gymnastics. Sorry, I was thinking Olympics. But
Apollo Ono,
it's
that's a
probably ice
fucking
skating too. No, what is he even? He does like
He's a
skiing.
speed skater. I remember that. That's a fucking name drop right there.
No, but Simone Biles, there was something where she was so good that they started to change the rules of gymnastics.
Yeah.
Like for her. And as an athlete, I mean, I'm not a good athlete, but as an athlete, I would feel so irritated that I got so good at this that the system had to then change.
Well, she's another one. She's like, no one's ever seen a gymnast that like built or
Yeah.
that could jump that high. That is kind of fucked.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
All right, we got two more here, I think, right?
But also, I guess I see where they're saying where it like ruins.
No, I guess it ruined. You want to make it fair
There's no
for everyone.
competition. Like they had the Monday night has the Manning cast. It's Eli Manning and
Yeah.
Peyton Manning, and they had Roger Goodell on, and they're like, "Oh, Roger, the Browns are going in to score a touchdown here. What do you think?" And he's like, "Oh, well, I kind of hope they score because as the commissioner of the NFL, I root for close games." So it's like if Simone Biles is blowing everybody out, or the Patriots are blowing everybody out, or the Warriors are going undefeated, that's not good for business at a certain extent.
It's not good for the league. But we keep going back to golf, right? Tiger was so dominant in
Right.
his sport that as my mom said, because she got to watch it, she said it kind of sucked. She's like, it kind of sucked watching golf because he was so good. But then you look back on it and say, damn, I wish I could have watched it because it was
Right,
just so dominant. And I really think that's the way we're going to look at LeBron. And even Tom Brady to an extent, right? Every time Tom Brady is in the Super Bowl, everyone hates him.
That's why
Everyone-
they have haters.
right? But you're going to look back in 5 years or 10 years and say, wow, like that was incredible, right? That really was.
It's like people always want parity. It's like college football. Alabama's always in the national
yeah.
championship. So they try to bend rules to where they don't get it. Like, oh, they can only have X amount of scholarships. Like, it's like, I don't know. They're always trying to bend the system from closer play or whatever. Next one is, Paul.
I really like this one. So the Super Bowl should be played on a Saturday night.
I like this one a lot, too.
This is a great idea. Why haven't we thought about this before?
They're already playing Super Bowls on. I mean, they're already playing playoff games on Saturdays nights now. So
Like
why not
who-
do the Super Bowl? I never drink on Super Bowl Sunday because I don't want to be hangover for work or school.
Well, there was a camp.
Wait, school. 14-year-old Ryan. I don't want to be hungover for class, Mom. I got geometry.
We hung over for Monday, honestly, but there was a campaign going around a couple years ago where they said the Monday after Super Bowl Sunday should be considered a national holiday.
I
And they
agree.
were getting a petition for people to sign it so that you can get off on Monday. But here's a great idea, right? Move the freaking game to a weekend that like you can drink Saturday night, drink all day Saturday, do whatever the hell you want, have your big party, see your friends, you wake up Sunday and you're chilling.
But it's like the whole thing of Super Bowl Sunday.
Sunday.
It's like a slogan almost.
Super Bowl Saturday.
Well, people take days off on Monday, like even if people take like Monday night off
Oh.
after the Super Bowl, even if their team's not even in it. But I know, like when the Giants were in the Super Bowl, I didn't go to school on Monday. I don't think, or when the Eagles went out, like people didn't go to work
No.
or school on Monday.
They're like, my team is never in it. I'm going to go hard. I'm going to enjoy the Super Bowl, whatever, no matter whether they win or lose.
I agree. A Super Bowl on a Saturday would be a lot better.
100%.
Last one is create a rotation for Olympic host cities. So I guess this means like you have like a poll or a draft and be like, here's 5 cities we're going to have for the Olympics. We're going to have Beijing, we're going to have Texas, and then we're going to have, or Houston, Texas, Beijing, and I don't know, some other place, Jamaica. And then you just rotate.
That's the most 3 random cities.
Nah, Beijing's been in there. I don't know about Houston, Texas.
If you went like Beijing, New York City, or like Beijing, LA, and London, England, I'd be like, okay, cool. Jamaica, like Colombia, yeah, Australia.
the Netherlands.
So,
But it's like a rotation. So the Olympics would only be in 6 spots forever.
yeah, but if you weren't one of those 6 cities, I feel like that would suck.
Yeah, I don't know if I would like it. What's the advantage of only having 5 or 6 cities? Like preparation?
And infrastructure. So if you have, because one of the biggest problems with hosting and why a lot of countries don't want to host the Olympics is that one of the biggest reasons why cities don't want to host the Olympics.
Paul's laughing because producer Drew is like squirting shit into the camera.
I'm gonna be real with you. I thought this camera was gonna overheat. This camera's about to overheat.
This dude's over there blowing on the fucking camera so it doesn't overheat.
Yeah, if you're listening to the show or watching, the reason why we can't get through this right now is our producer is trying to cool down our cameras that are about to overheat, and it's distracting us from continuing the conversation.
just
It's
like-
too hot, goddammit.
It's only notice how it's only my camera.
Oh, 'cause
'Cause
you're
I'm,
too
I'm
hot,
hot
yeah.
tonight. The mic is hot. The face is hot. I'm too hot tonight.
I'll just do
Okay.
a quick burst. Fuck it.
Well, we're almost done anyway. So,
But yeah, no wait. So the reason
Infrastructure.
why, yeah, so infrastructure, right? So if the Olympics were only in a few cities, that it takes a lot to build the infrastructure to host an Olympics,
what is that infrastructure?
like the stadiums. So if you're building like the Summer Olympics, there's so many different types of sports.
and like the dorms. You got to
Yeah,
build
the
dorm.
dorms, the housing, the food. There's very specific locations that can host the Olympics pretty well that have the infrastructure. Like LA's one of them. Philly would be another one.
You
have
think
the
Philly
city.
would have it?
Yeah, the Philly was in the running for the 2024 Olympics.
Damn.
They were in the bid for it and they declined it, or they lost the bid or whatever it was. But if you had it in 6 cities or 10 or whatever it was, that those stadiums would be good for probably like 30, 40 years, that it would help, because a lot of the times those Olympic stadiums after the Olympics, they're run down and they are abandoned and nobody uses them. And it's like all that infrastructure is kind of that billions and billions of dollars it takes to host an Olympics is like gone after the 2 months that they run.
It also might be a good idea to do the 5 cities for the Olympics, because you kind of take away the fact of maybe running into issues. Like, I know sometimes they have to delay or cancel Olympics due to like government issues.
That's true.
Like, oh,
Well-
Taiwan is overthrowing their government right now. They're rioting in the streets. Olympics have to get pushed back. But if it's in the 5 cities, I guess you could still run that problem, but the probability goes down, especially if it's in the United States.
And then
we're probably one of the higher
Yeah.
risk states for that.
But they'd also be prepared for it too. It's like preparedness, where it probably wouldn't cost us much to host the Olympics because all the infrastructure and everything was there. They'd be prepared. They would know what to expect, how many people,
Plus, it
etc.
probably helps like the Olympic Committee.
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
oh, I always stay at this hotel for this week when we go to this Olympics. I'm always there.
Yeah, I agree.
Shit like that. Like, I know my family want me there at X, Y, or Z this like in the next 10 years.
It would make more sense, but I think it would be more boring.
I agree.
Like that's the basic.
Because they have like their own like cultural opening ceremonies.
yeah, and
shit.
that's cool to experience all the different countries and see each country's take on hosting.
Right.
So you would lose that, but whatever.
All right. Good
Cool.
show.
That's our show, baby. Life's a Party, second show of 2022. Hopefully you guys are staying with your New Year's resolutions. Hopefully you haven't given up yet.
Don't fall off the treadmill.
Don't do that.
My ass is hurting a little bit.
But keep the party going.
Give us a like.
Oh, 100%.
You forgot this last episode. You gotta give a like, subscribe. That's what really helps us. So like, yeah, we do some merch here and there, and that helps us. But giving a like and dropping a comment, we haven't had a comment on YouTube in I don't even know how, like 3 videos.
in a hot minute, yo.
So if you could drop a comment, we really appreciate it. We read all the comments on TikTok and Instagram. We get a lot of love, so we appreciate it. So thanks for following us. And 2022 is gonna be our year.
That's
feeling
gonna
it.
be our year, baby. Stay tuned for a video coming out different from the podcast.
Yes.
On YouTube in about 2 weeks. We appreciate you guys listening. As always,
Music. Take us out.
peace, baby.
Later.
My compressed air tactic worked.
That shit had me dying, bro. Like you did it once, and I'm like, okay, fine. And then he kept doing
I
it.
started laughing when he was like cheesing at me mad hard, looking. I'm like, I'm gonna laugh.